Rebellions are built on hope.
And welcome to another episode of Radio Rebellion, a Star Wars podcast. I'm your host, Alberto Verderon, and we are here another Star Wars Saturday to talk Star Wars, that franchise that we know and we love so much. Again, just me riding solo. Otti's still out. I spoke with him earlier this week. He hopes to be back next week as we recap all these Star Wars news and Bad Batch episodes when Otti comes back. We're not going to review everything, but we'll get his thoughts on everything that's been happening so far, and of course a new episode when it drops next week. So yeah, I'll be here next week, but that's next week. How you guys doing today on this Star Wars Saturday? I am happy to be back, happy to be here with you guys. It's been a good week. It's been spring break down here where I live, so my kids had the whole week off. I took the day off yesterday, went to the aquarium. It was pretty cool. It's a cool time over there. Not so good the drive back. I-75, try to stay away from it. It is always a mess. And then today, I'm sweaty. I was just mowing the lawn. It's spring, which means the grass grows quick. And you gotta be out there on those Florida hot summer weekends and mow the grass, which is one of the things I hate the most. But that's not today. Today's Star Wars. And before we get to that, if you guys are watching us today, thanks for being here. Make sure you're subscribed to our channel so you don't miss any of the new episodes when they drop. Like this video and comment down below any thoughts you have on all the news items we'll be talking about today. And of course, the Bad Batch, anything Star Wars related, just let us know down below. And if you're listening to this on the audio podcast, thank you. Give us a rating, review, 5 stars, 4 stars. We take whatever type of stars you have out there. Oh, man, I don't know. I hope everyone's doing great. Of course they are. Who's out there today in the chat? Our friend Brennan is here. Paige Turners, they were not. Hello there. Hello. Brennan. And our friend Dale. Skywalker Academy also saying, Brenobi, you are a bold one. Yes, Dale. Brennan, we'll get to them. But yeah, these episodes were incredible. Animation deserves more respect because it's no less powerful than live action. Bravo all around. And this season, man, has been top notch. We mentioned last week. We'll mention it again today. And yes, we are sexy people here, especially when Buck joins us. How are you doing, Buck? Thanks for being here today. And Alan, man, packed house, sorry. Thanks for being here. And our prima, Mo, welcome. Welcome all. It's like, the last episode of season 3 of the Bad Batch is the cavalry arrives. The cavalry is here today. Brennan, Dale, Mo, Buck, Alan, the whole cavalry is here. So thank you guys for joining us today. It's going to be a good one. A short one probably, but doesn't matter. How you guys doing? Just, again, as we go through all this, just put your comments in the chat box next to there. And we'll have a good conversation, a good discussion. So, all right, let's go ahead and start this show. If you guys are ready, I'm not ready. Let's talk Star Wars. And we start with Star Wars movie news. All right, so some movie news, and I can't believe so. Looks like Rogue One is back on the menu, boys. So on a recent appearance on the Talking Pictures podcast, director Patti Jenkins revealed that her and Lucasfilm signed another deal that would have her write a draft for Rogue Squadron, the defunct Rogue Squadron movie, I should say, that she says she's currently writing it and trying to get it to a place that both her and Lucasfilms are very happy with. Patti said that when she left Star Wars to go do Wonder Woman 3, and I think she then sang Cleopatra, kind of moved away from Star Wars, but then we know the shuffling that happened in DC. So then Wonder Woman 3 was no longer kind of on the plate. And then she and, I don't remember, she said Kathleen Kennedy or Star Wars or Lucasfilm, they kind of met before the actors and writers strike last summer and signed another deal that would have her write a draft and see what happens. So we'll get through that. I'm sure you guys in the comments, in the chat, have a lot of thoughts about this. I have a lot of thoughts about this. So let's get to it. Yeah, I think you're right. So Buck, I saw your tweet and also you're saying boo. We'll get into that. Dale is saying that she said the same thing last year, so here we go again. And yeah, free Palestine, like Alan is saying. And it's twofold for me. First, it's difficult to keep track of everything that people are saying out there. It's so much in terms of information that I don't know, but I did my research and I found a couple of stuff that, of course, not too happy with in terms of the director. But let's talk first about Rogue Squadron as a possible movie or TV show, because last year during Celebration, Kathy Kennedy was asked about all the different movies that Kevin Feige won, the Ryan Johnson trilogy, and also Rogue Squadron. And she said, Rogue Squadron, that definitely is something that we still talk about, whether it's a movie or whether it ends up being in the series space. That's definitely something. But also now the past couple of months, it's been Bob Iger and all the heads kind of trying to scale back all the Marvel and the Star Wars shows that they are putting out there. So I don't know when this podcast happened that Patti Jenkins had these comments, if it was actually recent this past week, or this is old and it's just making the news rounds now. So I don't know. I don't know how true this might be. She's just writing a draft, so this might not come off for another 2 or 3 years. It might not be to something Lucasfilm wants to do whenever she finishes writing it. So it doesn't mean that Rogue Squadron as a movie is the next one that's coming or it's in that slate. I don't think we're at that point. I want to see this movie. Again, it's Star Wars. I'll take whatever movie they give us. But like I've been saying, at least online, I've been watching this Masters of the Air TV show on Apple TV, and I love that show. The way that it's about the war, World War II, and a bomber group, the 100 bomber group, but it's more about the people behind it, right? The actual people and all the software and all that stuff. So if it's something similar to that, especially if they do this in terms of a TV show and not a movie, you can really explore what the characters go through. And then I go to the Alphabet Squadron trilogy, that will be a lot better, in my opinion. So yes, when I hear Rogue Squadron might be back on the menu on the slate, I get excited because I want to see that movie. I've been saying that I want a movie about fighter pilots or racing, so anything in that area I'm very interested in. But now let's talk about the director, writer. I see your comment, Mo. I think I'm there with you right now. Rogue Squadron definitely deserves a different director. And I think that's where we're at. In terms of as a director, as a writer, I love the first Wonder Woman. Second one, not so much. But again, it's directors and writers have a big range. It doesn't, if you have one misstep or two, doesn't mean that you're bad at your job. Maybe that wasn't the best way to go about that project. And maybe the next one, it's the one that hits for you. And I know she was very excited to do a Star Wars movie. That video that, I don't know how many years ago, 4 years or whatever, talked about doing this as a love letter for her father, who was a army veteran. So that stuff I can get behind. But with everything that's been going on in the actual world and everything happening in Palestine and the war over there, or the genocide, I guess it's more a better definition. So I understand when, and I don't remember the comments that she made, but she made some sadness comments or comments against, not in favor of Palestine and what horrific things that are going out right there, kind of defending the Israeli army and that stuff. So on that end, I agree. Give me someone else. I don't want to then have to sit here and say, well, can I justify it? Can I separate the art from the artist? And I usually can. And some things, it depends. It depends where it's at. This point right now in history, it's very difficult to say, well, I can separate the art from the artist when it comes to something like this. So in that sense, I understand why some people are against it. Like you said it, Mo, Buck, really just give us a different director, different writer. I understand where this is coming from. Again, in terms of a movie, yes, I would want to see a Rogue Squadron movie, or at least a movie that kind of deals with some X-Wing or just different fighter jets out there, spaceships, squadrons, bombers. Again, forget about Rogue Squadron. Give me an Alphabet Squadron trilogy, which I think is better characters and a better story. But something like that kind of tackles not just the war and the dogfighting, but also the personal stakes behind it and all the character motivations, that's very interesting to me. Not with this writer and possibly director. So kind of, yes, I'm happy for more Star Wars, but it comes also with a negative side. So on that point, I do agree. Buck, where's my chat? Here we go. So yeah, Buck, in good news, you're downloading the Battlefront Classic Collection. I remember playing the original Battlefront, played it with my brother, really loved it. I'm not downloading the new version, but I'm very happy for everyone out there that's playing this right now. I heard, been hearing some good and some bad, but that's up to the who's playing. Buck is also adding, I really do want that Rogue Squadron film. That will be incredible. We don't want PJ attached in any way. I think I fall right there with you, like Mo said, and it took me a while because it's like, I don't know what she said. I can't follow what every single artist is saying about this conflict. But once you start hearing people kind of keep talking about it and you do a little bit of research, then you understand and like, can we get someone else? Of all the movies that you could revive, maybe not this one, but bring someone else. So yeah, I agree. All right, so let's move on from that. Actually, that's the only Star Wars news, I think. There's a lot of cool posters for the High Republic. The Battlefront Classic, like Buck said, is out there for everyone to play. So there's some other Star Wars stuff happening. But all right, let's go to what we're here, which is the Bad Batch. So let's go to Star Wars on TV. Star Wars on TV. Oh, sorry about that. So Star Wars on TV, or like I'm calling it, on these last two episodes of My Two Dads. That's what it is. Especially after these two episodes, Omega's having those two dads now, Hunter and now Crosser, which it's lovely. It's lovely to see. It's lovely to see poor Hunter getting a little bit jealous about Crosser's and Omega's relationship, but they'll make it work. Like Brennan said at the beginning, great. They haven't missed. The episode last week, I think, was my least favorite. And that's saying a lot because all of them have been great, or maybe episode 2. But these two, episode 6, Infiltration, and then episode 7, Extraction, just went back to what episode 1 and 3 had done. There's just great. It's animation deserves all the accolades that it's getting and even more. Excuse me, you're right, Bren. It just hits you with those emotional beats. But it's this season so far, just bringing everything together. That's what a last season, a final season of TV show should do, which is bring all those plot lines, little strands have been set in the previous 2 seasons and even in the Clone Wars to bring them all together. And I think the Bad Batch season 3 has been doing this great and better than a lot of the live action TV shows and some of the other stuff out there. Like I mentioned, Ahsoka, the finale to Ahsoka didn't do it for me. Kind of miss some beats. I know a lot of people for The Mandalorian season 3 said that they were rushing it, and some of the big plot beats that they had set for the past 2 seasons were resolved very quickly. Here it's taking its time. It's bringing everything from season 1 and season 2, especially these. What I'm guessing is going to be the cavalry arrives at the end, apart from being us right here. I saw your comment, Dale. Where is it? Yeah, everyone's here. Me, you, Buck, Brennan, everyone. So the actual cavalry is going to be this clone uprising, right? Where all the clones finally come together. Rex, Wolffe that we saw here, we're going to talk about him. He'll be back. He's just having a crisis, identity crisis at the moment. I think that's where we're going to see Cody and all the other clones, everyone from Mount Tantis. I think that's going to be the big cavalries, everyone coming to help at the end. So that clone uprising has been setting up since season 1, when the Clone Wars ended, and during that mess hall, and the clones didn't know what was going on, and then the Bad Batch arrived, and kind of the stormtrooper starts coming in, and some clones don't want to go with them, and I think everything's coming to a head in that season finale. And again, they've been setting up this in season 1, episode 1, and it's finally coming together. About this episode, we get Senator Avi Singh that we had seen in season 1, and then Senator Rio Chuchi that we saw, I think was last season, also very concerned with how they were treating clones and trying to kind of have this getting all the clones together for better rights. She's still fighting for it. I know that it's a secret meeting. Get Senator Singh about these guys. He's there with his big, colorful hat, his monocle, his big pompous dress, and then Rex all hooded up. Dude, yeah, he's a big target. You need to get him out of that. You gotta get some streetwear or something. You can't be just walking around with all that colorful garb, especially the big hat. If you're hiding, get something else. Just throw the hat down the sink or something. Yeah, you're right, Dale. Everyone that they've ever helped will be in the fight, a combination of the whole series. Yeah, everyone's gonna show up. It's gonna be great. We're like halfway already, which is kind of difficult to think of because we only had like 3 or 4 weeks. Since we had 3 episodes the first week, 2 episodes now, and 2 individual ones. We're already 7 episodes through. I think it's 14 episodes total this season. We're kind of halfway through the season already. So they're meeting again, trying to find more information about Mantantis, find where they're hiding the clones, and the Separatists. And again, this war didn't go the way the Separatists thought. So again, love that they're still making those connections. Love that Rio Chuchi is still there trying to help out the clones, Rex, and all those people are still there. So it's going to be very great. We have this shadow clone that's sent to, it's kind of watching what's going on, starts killing everyone, attacks, throws this thermal grenade, and then Captain Rex does his best Steve Rogers impression, jumps on top of the thermal grenade and just chucks it down the window before it explodes. So Rex, that's why you do the best. You're my favorite clone. That's why I love you. We're at the return of Hot Clone Hauser, or Wowser, however you want to call him. So Hauser is back. I love that when they get this clone, that then we find out that there are more of them. I love when they got this first shadow clone or this operative. They remove the helmet and it's just basically a regular clone, right? So then all these theories that we keep having, that of course I have one, I'll talk at the end or in a couple of minutes, we all have these big theories. But now they gave us, it's just a regular clone. So if it ends up not being anyone, CX2, which we now know is the designation of the second shadow clone that showed up, if it ends up just being another kind of Marok, nothing, then Star Wars can go, well, we showed you. You saw one of them. It's just a regular clone, so it's all on you. So we can have that mindset. But also, if it's a surprise and a big reveal, which I'm pretty sure it's going to be, then we can still kind of have been speculating, but if it doesn't happen, we don't need to throw a fit. So they get this clone, which is CX1. I rewatched the trailer this morning and had the captions on, and that interrogation scenes happened, and the caption for the clone is CX1. So you got CX1 and then the other CX2. So I love that interaction. I love, again, with this battle starts there, and then we get, like I said, Hauser is there that we hadn't seen since that episode in Ryloth that he reminds of when the Bad Batch arrived. And you're right, Buck. If you would die, if Hera, Chopper, Charm, Ellie, Numa, going, all of them in the fight, just bring Ryloth. I love that episode. Even though I was kind of in and out of season 2, I love that episode in Ryloth and little Hera. Just give us more Chopper and his hatred of everything Empire. But anyway, the Bad Batch arrives. They big reunion with Rex. Glad that you're back. Glad that everyone's safe. And then Hauser sees Crosser. It's like, no, I remember you. You killed half my squadron. You almost killed me. Are you surprised that I'm still alive? And then Hunter's kind of like, come on, you gotta keep it separate. I forgot that freaking Omega, like we've been saying, she's the heart of this whole series. Season 1, she was imitating Hunter. Whenever the way he stood, if he crossed his arms, she would cross her arms, put her arms on her waist. The same thing that Hunter did, she did. I remember there were a lot of theories saying that she had blood of all of them, and that's why she had a little bit of all the special abilities that they had. Then unfortunately, Hunter got kidnapped in season 1. Then season 2, she's spending a lot of time with Tech, learning how to fly the ship, learning the Tech maneuver, and then Tech dies. I don't know. Maybe it's a bad omen. And now this season, of course, she's spending more time with Crosser. She has the toothpick in just as Crosser. She's kind of checking to see how he moves it with his tongue across his teeth. Hunter sees this, not happy, of course. I don't know if this is foreshadowing Crosser's demise. One of our first talk here with Alti, if someone dies, might be Crosser, might be that redemption stuff. Not something that we want, this death, redemption by death, and maybe some other type. But hopefully it's not another foreshadowing that Omega spending more time with Crosser, and now he's the one that's gonna end up kind of on this lab, as we say. But it might be that he gets kidnapped or something happens to him. We'll see down the line. But I love again to see that Omega is building that relationship with Crosser throughout the whole series. It just wasn't one episode. Yeah, we escaped. She's still kind of building that relationship with him, which again in episode 2 or episode 7, I should say, we get that father-daughter. I kind of thought that was great to see. So that's the conversation, because Omega, same as Rex, still wants to save all the clones on Tantis. Rex and all Hauser and all the other clones they have are trying to get information about the location of Tantis. Couldn't get it from the Shadow clone. Hauser wants to interrogate Crosser because he couldn't just escape. Really, you were there for how many months and now you escape and you don't know how to get back. Maybe you're a spy. So Hauser is just digging on him. Crosser's like, just let me go. My hand is shaking. I got PTSD, all this stuff. But then Omega and Crosser basically said, hey, we've been tested for months. They're taking everyone's blood, our blood, all the clones. They're looking for something called the M count. And that's when I thought Rex was going to pick up on it. For some reason, I thought he knew about midi-chlorians. I thought he was going to say it had something to do with the Jedi or the Force. But Rex doesn't know anything. Hauser doesn't know anything. So I don't know. So this M count is still kind of a mystery for the people that live in Star Wars. They don't know a lot about Star Wars, right? Similar to Din Djarin. It's like, dude, it's M count. It's midi-chlorians. Come on, didn't you watch the special edition? You gotta keep up with it. So it's gonna be interesting. Eventually they'll find out, I'm guessing. I don't know if this is something that maybe a Jedi shows up and reveals it. I think that's a little bit too far from happening. I think this is going to be part of why Ventress shows up. I think when Ventress hears M count or something to that nature, so it's going to be they want to reveal that that's midi-chlorians. They're trying to build a Jedi or a Force sensitive. I think that's one of the parts that Ventress is going to play in this, apart from, of course, being a bounty hunter, probably trying to get that bounty from them, that reward, I should say. So anyway, another great episode, very action-packed. They activate CX2, which is this new drone, this new clone. He's kind of pissed of why he's activated, right? So why are you activating me? Why do I have to do this? Very Winter Soldier-like. I can't remember if it was in this episode or in the follow-up when Crosshair says that they tried to recruit him and he just didn't fit the bill. He couldn't make that. Let's call them CX clones. They couldn't make that team on that one, so I can't remember which one it was. But also say that some of the clones are still loyal to the Empire. And we see that at the end when who shows up? Clone Commander Wolffe. So Wolffe is there. He's bad. He's evil. How could you do this to us, Wolffe? Wolffe doesn't know what's happening. He still was in that. I'm just trying to be a good soldier, basically. Because at the end of episode 2, and I'll leave that to the end because that's at the end of episode 2 for this week, episode 7, Extraction, I should say. Excuse me. Before I move on, anything else that I missed or anything you want to add to it? Alan's saying, surprising that Rex wouldn't see Obi-Wan and Jedi using a midi-chlorian scanner, right? Just, why are you taking so much blood? As soon as they say they're testing our blood, it should be, all right, all the Jedi test everyone's blood when they take them. Sure, at some point during the Clone Wars, I had to check someone's blood for a midi-chlorian count, but it'll come. It's been a long, they've gone through a lot, Alan. Maybe he, in the spur of the moment, he forgot. I forget things here all the time. Let's cut Rex a break. He forgot about midi-chlorian counts for a minute. But anyway, let's go to episode 7, Extraction. And we have the clone commanders. Clone commandos, I should say, that everyone's been waiting for these to be the same clone commandos from the video game, which I did love that video, and maybe they are, I don't know. One of them was Hilo. I don't remember that was one of the clone commanders from the video game, but we'll see what happens with them. So this shadow clone, let's start talking theory. The shadow clone, this clone operative CX2, he's a great sharpshooter, right? It was great with the sniper. So I had two theories. The main one is the one that most people have had since the trailer came out, and we went over it here a lot, was this is tech. I think that's what makes the most sense, at least to me, that this is tech, but it's not the tech that we know, of course. I don't think he's a clone of tech. We didn't see anybody. He felt maybe there was a bouncy house at the end of that huge cable car when he fell through the clouds. Just at Sherlock season 2, he didn't die. He just jumped on a bouncy castle, and Tech's fine. They just grabbed him. Probably not. And so I think this is just Tech. He's been brainwashed again, very Winter Soldier like. Like Crosser said, they tried to recruit him, just couldn't match. I don't know, whatever their standards are. I think that they just did something to Tech to bring him back to life. Again, not that he didn't die. They just gave him some back or something. I think it's Tech. And we'll talk about some of the coming episodes. The titles, I think, kind of reveal a lot of it. But when he was great with the sniper, great with a sharpshooter, maybe it's not Tech. And maybe it's a mix of Crosser, a clone of Crosshair. Maybe they gave them Crosshair's blood just to activate some sharpshooting skills. And when they take the mask off, it looks like Crosshair. And they, again, knowing that Housey doesn't trust and Hunter's still kind of on the fence, just to make that even harder. I don't think so. I think it's going to be Tech. It has to be someone that we know and someone that we care about. I've seen a lot of people say that this is Cody or someone else. I don't think it's Cody. It doesn't make sense for it to be Cody. Cody has nothing to do with the Bad Batch at this point, hasn't shown up, hasn't been mentioned in 3 seasons. The only time we saw Cody with the Bad Batch was in Clone Wars Season 7, that first episode with the Batch, when Cody was the one to tell Rex, hey, I know these kind of offbeat clones, we need them for this mission. And then Cody was incapacitated 5 minutes into it when their gunship fell down. And we didn't see him again for the whole arc, and we haven't seen him or no mention of him. So it wouldn't have the emotional impact if this was the Clone Wars or if Cody had been more involved. To me, it doesn't fit the bill that this is Cody. Why did this CX2 Shadow clone survive like 3 times? He went down the shaft, he got boulders fell down on him, he fell through the ravine and the waterfall, and he's still alive. There's a reason keep saving this clone. That's, even though I mentioned at the beginning, even if they take the helmet just a regular clone, same as CX1, then haha for us. If that was the case, they could have just killed him and just brought another one. So that's why I think it has to be someone that's going to have a big emotional impact, not just for us as viewers, but especially for the characters. And this has to be Tech. For like 2 or 3 episodes, they keep mentioning, oh, if Tech was here, he could have just sliced through this data pad. Oh, I missed Tech in episode 2 or something. In episode 2, yeah, when it's just Hunter and Wrecker. So they just keep reminding us of that big hole in their heart and in their team. So I think when that helmet comes off, it's why are we fighting our brother? Why is our brother trying to kill us and kidnap Omega? So that's why it makes sense. I don't care that they've brought people back to life in Star Wars. Yeah, may call you somehow Tech survive or somehow Tech's back, do all your jokes. it just makes a lot of sense. And like we keep saying, this group needs a win, and that's why I hope that they all survive at the end of season 3 and they're all back together. Tech being alive still kind of 60-40 chance, but it's going up. I think it's going up, and we're gonna get it. So we have Wolffe, a great scene with Wolffe and the shadow clone having a conversation, different methods, right? Shadow clone, it's I'm just gonna go and kill everyone. I don't care. I shut down the ship so they couldn't escape. And Wolffe is like, well, but we have to bring them back alive. If you try to destroy their ship or you do whatever, you're gonna kill Omega, and then we don't complete our mission, basically. He's like, everyone's gonna be on stun, put your blasters on stun, and you report to me. I'm running this operation. Is that understood? Of course it wasn't. He just went and do his own thing. Tried to almost freaking drown Crosser on the water. Again, it's a kid's show while they drown someone underwater. Till Omega comes and saves them. I think it was Omega. I can't remember. But talking about my two dads, when Crosser gives Omega the bow, I think it's in episode 6, he gives her the energy bow. But then Crosser asks her dad, Omega, are you okay? Omega, do you have your bow? Can you carry all these supplies? Can you do this? And he's like, you're just as bad as Hunter. Said, I'm worse. Like even freaking Hunter, we keep saying it episode after episode, is how she keeps breaking down that marble exterior that he has, that concrete exterior, where he now treats her almost like his child, not as a child, but like his daughter. And she recognizing that and just making a joke of it. And he also coming back with a joke that he's even worse than Hunter, making sure that Omega is safe. I think that also is going to come to play at some point. I think Hunter and Cross are going to have a different views of how to deal with Omega in a situation. Probably Hunter wants to keep her safe or away from a mission, and Cross is going to be more forthright, or kind of, no, she can do it. Let's go with her, or she can come with us. We'll see how that goes. So it all comes to the end, which is that conversation between Rex and Wolffe, right? They have them dead to rights. Wolffe with all his clones. Then we have Rex, the Bad Batch, and then Echo arrives in his ship just to get them out of there. And Rex starts telling Wolffe about, no, they have clones still on Tantis. They're experimenting on them. They're prisoners. And Wolfe's like, no, I'm a good soldier. I'm just following orders, basically. Then why are you hunting a child? That was so great. Again, for a children's show, apart from trying to drown someone, it's why are you hunting a child? If what you think you're doing is so great and you're following orders, why are you hunting a child? Just think of that if you think that you're on the right side. And again, that's when I think that Wolffe is going to turn at some point. I don't know if we'll see him again just at the end. I think maybe that's done for now, but he'll come back at the end. And then that's when we get that CX2 shadow clone is still alive. Yeah, why are you still bringing this clone alive? And they're slowly, because Hunter just wants to freaking retire to Pabu and just be out of it. And Rex is like, you need to wonder why the Empire is so interested in Omega and trying to hunt her down. Why she's so important to the Empire. And that's where the episode or the season seems to be going now. In one side, it's let's liberate the clones and have this clone uprising. And why is Omega so important to the Empire? And I love those two viewpoints those two plot points that we're going to be following the rest of the season. They're, of course, going to come together, everything at Mount Tantis, I'm guessing. But yeah, great episodes. Haven't missed. Again, season 3 has been the best season so far of the Bad Batch. Some of the best animated seasons so far. It's been very direct, very strong in the message that they're telling and the story that they're telling. Rebels is my favorite animated show, but Bad Batch season 3 might be there in terms of some of the best seasons ever. Talking about animation. And if you want to bring live action, then also if there was a live action show, first it would be over already, or next week will be the finale, because it's usually just 8 episodes. But the story they're telling, man, you can't just say, "Oh, it's a kids series animated." And again, if people don't like animation, that's fine, but they're missing a great story. And season 3, I can forgive all the scenes, if you want, from the first 2 seasons, or the things I didn't gel with, because season 3 is just, again, perfection so far. I love everything, the animation, the music, the sound design, it's gorgeous. And the story they're telling, giving each character enough time to breathe. Wrecker still this season has been more of what he should be, or what you think he will be, just this big powerhouse. Hopefully we'll get a little bit more with him in the coming weeks. All right, so talking about a couple of next few episodes. Next week, episode 8, I didn't even write down the title, but I'm focusing more on episode 9 and 10, a little bit on 11, in terms of why I think that the Shadow Operative CX2 is going to be tech. It's going to be revealed very soon. Season 9 is called Harbinger, and Harbinger means a person or thing that announces or signals the approach of another. And I think that's going to be it. I think we're going to find by the end of this episode 9, Harbinger, beginning of episode 10, which is called Identity Crisis. I think those 2 episodes are going to be when CX2 is revealed to be tech. Identity Crisis, again, is going to be trying to figure out which side he falls on, trying to remove all that brainwash that happened to him. And then its point of no return is episode 11, which is kind of decide, are you going to go with the Bad Batch or going to stay with the Empire? I think those 3 episodes, 9, 10, 11, are very, very important for the season. And I think that's when the reveal is going to come. Can it be with Crosshair, a person that also signals the approaches of another? Could be an identity crisis again. Where does Crosshair fall? Because people don't trust him. But I think those 2 episodes points more to the reveal of Tech being alive and being this Empire operative and trying to figure out that identity crisis, trying to bring him back. That's where I fall, and I hope it happens, because I want them to be fine. I want them to be happy at the end, back in Pabu. All right, Dale, you're adding, they have to feed the information from a blood sample into a computer on this issue. It might not be obvious. Give us this one, Dale. Okay, it's fine. You just take a sample. They can do it on their phone, and it tells M count. For people that don't know what midichlorians are, they have a chip. They can figure that out. That's why tech. If they had tech would just go to Star Wars Wikipedia, put M count. What is M count? Midichlorians. There you go. Easy. But tech's dead. For now, he'll be back in Harbinger. All right, guys, that's it. Again, it's a short episode today without Otti here to yell back at me. It's not too long, but again, Bad Batch has just been a great series, great season. So can't wait for the next couple of episodes. Next week, like I mentioned, Otti will hopefully be back. I'm like halfway through the 5D Storm. I don't think I'll be done by next. I might be done by next show. I know Otti is probably still reading, so we won't have a review of it. I might have the written review on our website, maybe next week or the following one. But check that out. I've got a review for iJedi. My review of The Living Force is coming out soon, March 26th, I think, is all written. So we'll be there soon. So get ready for that. All right, guys, that is it for us here on Radio Rebellion this week. So yeah, we'll be back next week. Thank us as always for being here. Thanks to everyone that showed up. Make sure you hit that like button. I'm sure you did. But Dale, Alan, Bug, Mo, Brennan, anyone else that was there and didn't make it to the chat but was watching, thanks for being here. We'll be back next week with more Star Wars talk. Hopefully news that we like, and Bad Batch discussion with our co-host Otti, hopefully next week. So stay safe, be safe, and there's always another way. See you guys.